Today, the most common way to listen to music is over the internet, whether it's YouTube or iTunes or Spotify or whatever. Most of you out there have listened to music on the web. The wildly popular services we use today basically owe every listener they have to a little program called Napster. Now, Napster was both popular and controversial when it first came out thanks to a small issue called blatant and severe copyright infringement. But what exactly was it? It was a big deal is what it was. Napster was a program created by a pair of Seans, Fanning and Parker, in 1999. It was the first mass peer-to-peer file-sharing program to grace the young internet. Alright, so what does that mean? Basically, Napster was a program that allowed anybody to share music files on the internet. It looked a little bit like this, and it let people share any music file they wanted, especially illegally sourced ones, like Blister in the Sun or the South Park theme. Now, people hate paying for stuff, which I'm sure as a people yourself you understand. This made Napster extremely popular because why pay for something you can download for free? And Napster was absolutely revolutionary because before it, the only reliable peer-to-peer file sharing was email, which I use reliable lightly. It was severely limited by file size restrictions in your contact list and made computers very vulnerable to viruses. Napster allowed people to list song files on a central server where complete strangers would download the song files directly from you via Napster. This was really the birth of mass file sharing programs, which we see today in things like GitHub, BitTorrent, Google Docs, Dropbox, and also basically the entire internet. Napster also only allowed MP3 files to be shared, reducing the risk of catching a computer virus, which tended to be an executable file also known as a .exe. This was all well and good. Record labels responsible for selling music thought maybe a little too well and a little too good. Napster was cutting into their sales. More music online meant less people buying music, and remember, this was a pre-iTunes world here. When it came to online music, Napster was basically it. A variety of lawsuits from various record labels forced the company to shut down, setting precedents against online copyright infringement. These cease and desist orders filed in 2001 were too little too late. People knew what was possible with the internet, and we wanted music on our computers without paying. The death of Napster was the birth of basically every other online music locale, like some phoenix born out of digital piracy and corporate whining. Services like Napster, including Kazaa, LimeWire, and Nutella, began to thrive, and here we see some more familiar names crop up. iTunes was announced the same year Napster was shut down, 2001. YouTube's massive song library was created through user uploads in accounts like Vivo, and Spotify came along as well. A lot of the programs born out of Napster skirt the line between legal and illegal, and overall don't pay creators much or at all for their music. The guiltiest parties in this respect have been streaming services such as Pandora and Spotify. After Napster, we knew we could avoid paying for music, and that's what we keep doing. This entire situation, it would seem at least, would be bad for literally everybody but the listener. Record labels, musicians, CD makers, entire markets depend on people paying money for music. It seems like we're slowly killing our favorite artists and their record labels. Will we ruin our music? What if the internet makes our music better? Okay, so what Napster and most of its descendants have in common is that they all allow anybody to post their music for download. Before the internet, getting into the music business as a creator was way difficult. For most, it would be getting gigs and playing at contests, praying that a record label would pick you up, or else continuing the struggle of being an independent creator. Today, it's easier to say the least. Literally anybody can use a computer to record themselves singing or edit together a song and then post it online without thinking twice. Two programs in particular make becoming a musician and sharing your music easier than ever: SoundCloud and Bandcamp. These programs can't, of course, guarantee quality. They can promise variety and easy access to over 40 million independent creators, including you if you want. SoundCloud lets any musician post their tracks for free. It allows creators to give out their own free downloads. For listeners, SoundCloud acts as both a social media page where you can like and follow your favorite artists, and as a music streaming service with playlists and the like. Bandcamp, on the other hand, is a program that allows musicians to set their own price on their music, even allowing a pay-what-you-want option for fans, including album art and unlimited downloads. These programs act as a sort of tool to allow for the democratization of music. They also allow for the birth and growth of subgenres that traditional outlets like record labels would never pick up, from samurai death metal to post-apocalyptic folk music. The actual tracks and genres within the music industry have seen a huge boom in content and variety, but even for small-time independent artists, music pirating still cuts into their bottom line. In a lot of ways, Napster has put the music industry on its deathbed, but it has also shown us a way forward. We've changed the way we value music at a fundamental level, and changed how we share it as well. No matter what, we can't go back to those simpler, pre-Napster times. People can argue all day about whether the music industry is good for creators or bad and whether it needs to stay or go. But what truly matters is that music will go the direction we, as lovers and listeners of music, decide it will go. The most radical thing you can do as a consumer is open up your internet browser and buy some songs.